What is up, guys? This is the first episode of the LA Galaxy Lab podcast. I am Defender Diggs.
And I'm LA Galaxy Life.
Let's hop right into LA Galaxy versus Houston Dynamo.
Okay, I think it's going to be a good game.
It'll be a tough game considering they have a new star, Darwin Quintero.
Will be interesting.
Used to play for Minnesota last year and in the years before. But we did beat Minnesota in the playoffs. I think it will be too hard of a challenge. And I'm actually really interested to see how Joe Corona and Sebastian Lletget do in the midfield and Sasha Kljestan without the likes of Jonathan Dos Santos.
They also now have Ramirez, so that will be
they
interesting
acquired
as well.
him in the summer last year. For score predictions, I personally could see it like 3-1 or 3-0.
I'm going to go ahead and say a 2-1.
Pavon's going to dominate on the wing and get 2 assists and 1 goal. I think Chicharito's going to get 2 goals, both assisted by Pavon, and I think Pavon's going to score himself.
I think it's going to be Pavon and Chicha who score, and Pavon gets the assist, and then Lletget or Corona gets the assist for Pavon. And then for their goal, I think it's going to be Quintero. I think he's going to be good.
Yeah, I could see it being Elise or Quintero, of course. This Saturday, it's in Houston. I am assuming it's going to be sunny and hot, but I'm going to check. Yes, Saturday 73 is the high. And, of course, it's a 12:30 game, meaning it's going to be hot. That's going to affect the players a lot, slow the game level down. Maybe a water break between the halves. I mean, not between the halves, but in the middle of the halves. And that whatever happens at that halftime is going to be crucial.
Hopefully GBS is going to do a good job for us.
Yeah. Hopefully this year he will make substitutions earlier, because I remember last year a lot of people were upset with him not making substitutions. That weather is obviously Houston's going to be used to it because that's their city, and they're used to how their stadium blocks the sun or whatever. And we only played there twice or maybe 3 times in the last 2 years, so we're not going to be as adapted to it as them. And I think the heat's going to really affect us more. But if our defense does their job well and doesn't, choke, and Bingham is on point, I think we could really pull this game and start the season off right.
Yeah, hopefully our defense does good and doesn't choke like every game we play, but we won't talk about that.
Hopefully we could be acquiring Alan Fay at the beginning of March when Independiente's season ends, because they do not want to sell him during the season, especially when the season is ending right now because of the lack of depth that they have at center back. But he would be a huge addition if we could acquire him. He'd be that sort of Jelle Van Damme style player, very aggressive and big body on the ball, and he's 6 foot, big guy. That would be a great acquirement.
I heard that he also faked an injury to not practice with the team, hoping that
he did not
sell him.
He did not want to train with the team, and he has been pushing for them to accept our offer. And I believe the offer is around $3 million or $3.5 million, meaning he would not be a designated player. If we went above $4 million, I believe it would be he would have to be a designated player, and that would be tough considering we already have 3 designated players in Chicharito, Dos Santos, and Pavon.
And then we also could be getting another deal because on Monday we have $50,000 in general allocation money from Sporting Kansas City.
And we have been linked, us and Atlanta United FC have been linked with the right winger from Tigres, Jürgen Damm. He's like a faster Antuna, I would say, but he's better than Antuna. Yeah. I think he's around Katai's play style, except a little better and way faster.
Katai's been struggling, though.
He has. That'd be interesting to find out who'd start, Dam or Katai. I'd assume it would be Dam.
Yeah, me too.
But, Katai's would be being paid a lot of money to be on the bench.
Also, Katai, he's not really finding his spot yet.
Yeah, but we can't expect him to find his spot in preseason. We have to let him settle in the midseason, get used to his new team. And I mentioned that we can't have Katai just sit on the bench with the money he's being paid. We saw that with players like Giovanni Dos Santos and Jorgen Shelvik last year. And no one was happy that we were paying them so much just to sit on the bench. So I'm hoping Katai gets playing time instead of just sitting on the bench. And it will be an interesting situation if we did acquire Jorgen.
Top 3 Galaxy players.
Okay, my third. I know this might be a shock. You might have thought he was higher on the list. But my third best player on the Galaxy is personally Jonathan Dos Santos. He runs the midfield. He does. His long shots last year were amazing. Two in particular. The one against Orlando City.
I was going to say that.
And obviously the one against Minnesota that put us that doubled our lead, which eventually won the game because they scored one. And you might have him higher, but I think he could be the first best player on a good team. I'll just say that. But we're better than a good team, in my opinion. And we have 2 better players, in my opinion. It's tough to put him at third because he doesn't deserve to be the third best player of an MLS team. But our team, we have 3 great players, like 3 amazing, high-class players. And I think he's the third best of them 3.
I actually agree with you. I actually put Jonathan at third as well. We have 2 other good players that can help us a lot, I think, during the season. And JDS, he could support us too. I mean, he runs the midfield, as you said. Yeah. But if you compare him to the other 2 players, they're doing great as well.
Yeah, obviously one of those. I think you guys know who both of them is. It's just a matter of where we're gonna put him. Yeah. One of those we're yet to see, like how he's gonna do in the MLS. I think our second best player a lot of people are gonna have him at first, and I don't know if you do. The Galaxy life, but our second best player, in my opinion, is Javier Chicharito Hernandez. He's going to do amazing. He's going to fit right into this team. We're going to get him lots of goals this year. He's going to finish well. He's going to do amazing, and he's a great player.
I indeed have put him as number 2 as well. I think he'll fit into our play style a lot more than Zlatan did. I don't know if you guys think this, but me personally last season, I noticed that Zlatan wouldn't really run for the ball. He would kind of stand there and
yes,
and like say, get the ball at my feet or else I'm not going to move. So I think Chicha moves a lot more, and he's going to fit into our play style better.
Yeah, I want to acknowledge what you just said. I totally agree. Chicharito's going to, he's 7 years younger. He's going to do way more. He's still in the middle of his career. You could say he's still in his prime, actually. But he's going to run. He's going to be in pace with, maybe not in pace, but he's going to try to keep up with Pavone, one of the fastest players in the league. And Chicharito, he's going to, he's not going to be like Zlatan where he doesn't run. And what we did with Zlatan, we'd do all the work. We'd run down the field. We'd set up the shot, and then we'd just pass to Zlatan. And I don't think that's how it's going to be this year. We're going to set up our own goals, and if we have a shot, we're going to shoot it. And if we don't have a shot and Chicharito's open, we're going to pass it to him, and he's going to shoot it.
I also think Chicha's going to pass a lot more than Zlatan, though.
Yes, definitely. Zlatan, and I saw this a lot with Antuna last year. Zlatan would blame his own mistakes on other people. And he did that mostly with Antuna, actually. Like, when Antuna would give him a good pass, but he messed it up, he'd blame it on Antuna. And I can't see that happening with Chicha.
I agree. I think even if, let's say, Pavon makes a bad pass, I think Chicha, instead of blaming I almost said Antuna.
Pavon.
Yeah, blaming Pavon. I think he's actually going to run and try to get the ball back.
Yeah.
Okay, first
Okay,
spot.
so
I think we all know who
number
this
one.
is going to be.
Okay, let's say it on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Christian Pavon, yes. He's so lethal. If you give him the ball and there's a defender in front of him, he'll juke him out and run right past the defender and just carry it all the way down the field where he either finds a shot or he finds, a player like Zlatan last year, or which will be Chicharito or Katai or Kleshtin this year. And he'll pass it, set him up, and we'll shoot and we'll score.
I mean, we even saw that in the last game of the normal season, playoffs, but normal season, when we had Zlatan. Pavon dribbled right past like 2 defenders, got to the line, passed it to Zlatan, and he just scored. So
yeah, and that was also a great goal by Pavon. He just waited there for a pass, and he saw that the defenders, the right back was pushing forward, so he just waited and waited for a pass, waited for anyone to see him, and he waited, and once he got the ball, he curled it past the goalie, and that gave us the 2-1 lead, I believe. And it was just a great goal, great play.
We also saw it in the preseason game against the New England Revolution. I don't know who it is, but someone played the ball over the defenders, and we could see that his first touch is very lethal. His first touch is very lethal, and he could put the ball in the back of net.
Yeah, and obviously that Toronto goal just shows what he's going to do for us this year. That was an amazing goal. Running, and he backside turns and just boots it, and it goes in the left side of the goal. You'd think he'd go for the right side, but he goes for the left side. Goalie can't do anything about it. So now we will be answering some questions we got on our story. We put out a little question box. Okay, first question. Do you guys have season tickets? Yes.
I do.
Okay, second question. When will it be out? Meaning, when will the podcast be out? We should have it out by, we're recording this earlier on Wednesday. So you won't actually be hearing this until we release it, obviously. And obviously you guys know when we released it, but it should be out by later on Wednesday.
So I have a question from someone. Where do you see us? What position do you see us at the end of the season?
Okay, so for Western Conference standings position ranks, I could see us in second place, actually.
I see us in, I'm going to go with, it's between second and third. I'm trying to think of someone who could potentially be in second. Yeah, I'm going to go with second.
Yeah, I think we will be second place, and I actually think Seattle Sounders will be in front of us in the Western Conference standings.
Okay, for me, ahead of us, I know you guys might hate what I'm about to say.
Oh, I know exactly what you're gonna say.
But
sadly,
do it.
Don't do it.
Sadly, I think the LA Stinkers are gonna be in first again.
Okay.
I'm sorry, everyone, but I mean, you gotta admit they have a good attacking players. They have good attacking players.
Okay, let me say.
All right.
Their defense this year is going to be absolutely horrible unless they can acquire someone. Their defense right now is going to do nothing.
Oh, I totally forgot. They lost.
They sold Walker Zimmerman, yes.
I totally forgot about that.
Right now, what their defense was against Club Leon in the, what's it called, in the CONCACAF Champions League, their defense, I think their defense was, their defense for CONCACAF Champions League against leg one against Leon was Blackman, Tristan Blackman. It was, I don't know how to pronounce it. Jakovic, Eddie Segura, and Diego Palacios. And I personally don't see that defense doing much, stopping many goals. Because their best defender sold to Nashville. Walker Zimmerman gone.
Yeah, the fact that they sold Zimmerman, I totally forgot about that. So that changes their back line a lot, because if you think about last year, they had one player who could guard Zlatan, and that was
Walker
Zimmerman.
Yes.
The rest of them would just,
The rest of
lean
them
on
would
his body and try to get the ball, but they couldn't.
The rest of them would just try to pull him down, and they didn't actually play defense. Walker Zimmerman was the only one that could defend Zlatan, and I think that's going to make huge impact on where they finish.
Yeah,
and
that changes a lot. That one signing changes a lot.
Yep.
Okay, so for me, in third place, I'm going to go with Seattle.
Me in third place, I am going to go with, it's got to be LAFC. I can't see them dropping that much.
Yeah. Okay, so fourth, let's see. FC Dallas made a good playoff run last year. Portland's alright. Real Salt Lake did alright. I think in fourth, I am going to go with... It's between FC Dallas and maybe Real Salt Lake.
Okay.
I'm going to go with... I think Real Salt Lake is going to be higher than FC Dallas this year.
You think they're going to be fourth?
Yeah, I think they're going to be fourth.
Personally, I think their best player, newcomer from Mexico, I could honestly see Sporting Kansas City being fourth. Alan Pulido, I can see him doing a lot in this league. Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. They're more at the bottom of my table.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. So we're going to go to our seventh. We're going to go to 7 standing.
Okay. So where are we? Fourth? No, fifth.
Fifth. I think in fifth place, this might be a shock, but I can see it as Houston Dynamo. Darwin Quintero, Minotas, Elise, Ramirez. I can see that team not being too bad.
I'm going to also go with Houston Dynamo. They've made a good signing. They got Quintero. They have Elise, and they just have a better team.
So now I'm realizing I only have 2 more spots, and there's about 4 teams I would like to put in this.
Changing your thoughts a little.
Yeah. There's one team that I'm not going to be able to fit in. I think they're going to get 8th, and that's Minnesota. They lost their best player, and it's tough not to have them in the playoffs, but I don't think they'll make it with this tough Western Conference. With that being said, my 7th place team is going to be Portland Timbers. They lost their best striker, yes, but they did sign Diego Chara. Not Diego Chara's brother, Yimi Chara. Mm-hmm. And that defense is going to be superior.
So 6th, I am going to go with the Portland Timbers. I think they'll have a good playoff run.
Yeah.
As you said, they did sign Chara's brother. I think that'll be a very good signing. And for my 7th, I am now realizing there are a lot more teams that I would like to put in.
Yeah, this is a tough Western Conference. I know who I'm going to put in.
For 7th, I'm going to go with the San Jose Earthquakes.
That's exactly who my 7th place team is. You saw them in the middle of the year. I think they were in 2nd place, and then they kind of dropped out of the playoff standings and were nowhere to be seen. Dropped off the face of the earth that season. And, Chris Wondolowski getting pretty old, but I can still see that team doing a lot. Barely missed the playoffs last year.
He's still working his ass off.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna barely make the playoffs this year instead of barely missing the playoffs like they did last year. Okay, one of our last questions. We might do one more, or we might not after this. What do you think the Galaxy win or lose this question? So do we think the Galaxy will win this weekend? Obviously, we showed our predictions, so we both think we're going to win. I say 3-1. He said 2-1. And, yep, so we both think we're going to win.
Okay, I have one. How many goals do you predict that Chicha will score this year?
I can see him scoring at least 25, maybe 30.
I'm going to go with, at least 26. I'm going to go one up on you.
Personally, I'm not ruling out that he's going to score 45, 50 goals. I know it might sound crazy, but you know who Chicharito is. You know what he's capable of. Obviously, he played for some of the best teams in the world, like Manchester United, Real Madrid, West Ham, Sevilla, Chivas Guadalajara, and like he has most goals in Mexican national team history. So I'm not ruling out that he's going to break the record for goals, but I think I could see around 30, maybe 30 for Chicharito. And it's tough to get a lot of goals when you're on a team with the likes of Jonathan Dos Santos and obviously Christian Pavon, and obviously, Katai, Cleston, Dos Santos, Leggett, Corona, all those great players. But, yeah.
I'm saying he's going to score 31. I think he's going to tie with the Carlos Vela goal record this year. Hopefully he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's going to get... Okay, guys, that's going to wrap up the first LA Galaxy Lab podcast. I hope you enjoyed.
Our Instagrams at Defend the Digs, Digs with 1G, and obviously LA Galaxy Life. You guys should know how to spell that. And our podcast account is just LA Galaxy Lab. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you tune in next episode.